Let's talk about movies that changed Hollywood forever. Even though the movies themselves, not exactly all time classics. When people think of game changers, the mind jumps to obvious masterpieces like Jaws or Star Wars. But here's the thing, Hollywood doesn't just evolve because of great films. Sometimes a movie that's just fine, or even downright bad, ends up leaving a huge footprint on the industry. It could be because of the technology it used, the way it was marketed, or the business decisions it inspired. And years later, you look back and realize, wow, that messy movie actually set the stage for half the stuff we watch today. So that's the list we're making today. Not the best movies, not the most beloved movies, but the ones that changed Hollywood forever, even if they weren't all that good. Let's get into it.
The hell's wrong with you people?
We're bad guys. It's what we do.
Nothing really matters to me.
This one's a little weird. Suicide Squad was supposed to be DC's edgy, fun blockbuster, and instead, it was a tonal mess, chopped up in editing, and loaded with questionable choices. But here's why it mattered, the trailer. That first Suicide Squad trailer with the Bohemian Rhapsody needle drop was incredible. People lost their minds. The hype was massive, and Warner Brothers panicked. They literally let the trailer company re-edit the actual movie, trying to capture that vibe. The end result, a mess of clashing tones. But it marked the start of a new era, where trailers weren't just ads, they were the product. Studios realized that a killer trailer could make or break a movie, even if the film itself didn't deliver. Michael Bay's Transformers is pure noise. Explosions, shaky camera work, and characters nobody care about. But it was also a box office juggernaut. Why? Because it proved that you could take an old toy line and turn it into a billion-dollar blockbuster. Suddenly, every studio started digging through their IP vaults. G.I. Joe, Battleship, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, even board games like Ouija got movies. Transformers showed that nostalgia, plus CGI, plus loud explosions could equal cash. And Hollywood has been mining that formula ever since.
I'm strong enough to kill you. You are my life now.
Twilight is not a great movie. The acting is awkward, the effects are rough, and the romance is polarizing. But when it came out, it exploded. Suddenly, every studio wanted their own YA book adaptation. The Hunger Games, Divergent, The Maze Runner, all of that riding Twilight's wave. It also showed Hollywood the power of the female teen audience, which had been mostly ignored in blockbusters before. So even if you hate the sparkly vampires, you have to give credit. Twilight changed what studios thought mainstream could be.
Tell me where you are, John!
This one's actually really good, but it's not a classic in the traditional sense. It's shaky cam footage of people screaming in the woods. Some audiences walked out, some hated the ending, but the Blair Witch Project basically invented viral marketing. The way this movie was sold, fake websites, missing person posters, people genuinely wondering if it was real, was revolutionary. On a $60,000 budget, it made nearly $250 million. Now, every low-budget horror movie tries to copy that formula. And on the big studio side, marketing departments realize just how powerful "Is This Real" campaigns can be. That ripple effect is still felt today. Some people love this movie, some people hate it. Almost everyone agrees it's a mess, but you cannot deny its impact. Batman vs. Superman was supposed to launch DC into Marvel-level dominance. Instead, it did the opposite. It showed what happens when you rush into world building without taking time to establish your characters first. Hollywood learned the wrong and right lessons from it. On one hand, DC scrambled and reshuffled their whole franchise. On the other, Marvel doubled down on slow build storytelling, and studios realized we can't just skip to the big crossover. It was a messy, bloated movie, but it changed the way studios thought about franchises. The original Tron is not good. Great ideas, incredible visuals for the time, but as an actual movie, it's stiff, confusing, and kind of boring. But here's the thing, without Tron, computer-generated effects don't take off the way they did. This was the movie that showed Hollywood, hey, computers can actually make entire worlds. Even though the film wasn't a hit, its influence spread through the industry. By the time you get to Jurassic Park or Toy Story, you're seeing the seeds planted by Tron. It was a bad movie that inspired good movies. and that's a legacy. Cats isn't just bad, it's legendarily bad. The nightmare CGI fur, the bizarre performances, the fact Universal had to push an updated version of the movie to theaters after release because they forgot to finish the visual effects. It's chaos on film. But Cats changed Hollywood in two ways. For one, it proved that the movie musical revival wasn't going to be easy. Studios thought they could just slap big stars into Broadway adaptations and get a hit. Nope, audiences weren't buying it. And two, it showed how memes could drive a movie's cultural footprint. Nobody actually watched Cats in theaters, but online, it was everywhere. Reaction GIFs, YouTube breakdowns, Twitter roastings, Cats became immortal through internet culture. That's why studios now think twice before greenlighting musicals, and why they also secretly hope their flop will go viral.
And we all need him.
M. Night Shyamalan's The Last Airbender is one of the most hated movies of all time. The acting is wooden, the effects are laughable, and it managed to butcher one of the greatest animated shows ever made. Fans still haven't forgiven it. But the movie had a weird impact. It killed blind faith in brand name directors. Before this, Shyamalan was considered a name. Studios thought slapping "From M. Night Shyamalan" on a poster meant guaranteed money. But when this thing bombed, it woke Hollywood up. People weren't going to show up just because a big name director was attached. You actually had to respect the source material and deliver something watchable. It soured audiences on 3D conversions and became a cautionary tale about adapting beloved animated series.
You go to the hole and dominate. We on defense.
Oh, yeah.
Whoa, I don't play defense.
Space Jam, an Ivan Reitman comedy.
Do people actually love Space Jam? Or do they just love the nostalgia of watching Bugs Bunny dunk on aliens while Michael Jordan awkwardly reads cue cards? Because let's be honest, the movie itself isn't great. The animation is cool, and the soundtrack is iconic, but the story is nonsense. It's basically a giant commercial for Nike and Looney Tunes. And that's exactly why it's here. Space Jam changed Hollywood because it showed studios how powerful brand synergy could be. You take a legendary sports icon, mash them up with an established cartoon IP, throw in endless product placement, and suddenly you've got not just a movie, but an event. It was one of the first films to feel like a giant commercial that people willingly paid for. Without Space Jam, you don't get stuff like the Emoji Movie, Ready Player One, or even the Super Mario Bros. Movie. It laid the groundwork for IP mashups as a business strategy, and Hollywood never looked back.
What are they?
Very pure spirits.
Okay, let's talk about the other Avatar. Avatar is technically a great movie in a lot of ways. It was a monster hit, it looks gorgeous, and it's James Cameron, so of course it pushed tech forward. But let's be real. Story-wise, it's basically Fern Gully meets Pocahontas in space. The characters are flat, the dialogue is cheesy, and most people couldn't name a single character besides Jake Sully if you held them at gunpoint. But here's why it changed Hollywood forever. The 3D boom. Before Avatar, 3D movies were kind of a gimmick. After Avatar, every single studio went into full-blown "we need 3D" mode. Suddenly you had movies like Clash of the Titans, Alice in Wonderland, and even The Last Airbender being rushed into theaters with 3D slapped on them. Most of them looked awful because they were just cheap post-conversions. But it didn't matter. Avatar convinced studios that audiences would pay extra just to see stuff flying at their face. It also advanced motion capture tech and digital cinematography in ways that trickled into Marvel movies, Planet of the Apes, and pretty much every blockbuster today. So yeah, Avatar is average in terms of story, but the way it impacted the industry will be remembered forever. So there you have it. 10 movies that weren't all-time greats, but still shaped Hollywood in ways we're still feeling today. Some pushed technology forward, some rewired marketing strategies, some changed how franchises were built or destroyed, and some just showed studios exactly what not to do. It's a reminder that influence doesn't always come from quality. Sometimes a messy, awkward, or downright terrible movie can end up being one of the most important ones. So what did you think? Did I miss one of the big ones? Which of these do you think had the biggest impact? Avatar with its 3D craze, Blair Witch with viral marketing, or maybe Twilight with the YA explosion? Let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear your takes. And if you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe as it really helps out the channel. As always, thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Take care.